So, a couple things really quick that I just want to breeze over really quick. They're not the main things that we're going to talk about today, but they do have a little bit of importance. I'm going to tell you about some resources. You can go look at them if you want. If you don't, that's fine too. But the first thing is, whenever you're doing any endeavor in life, it's really important to figure out your why. You've probably heard this 1,000 times before. Maybe it is your first time hearing it. But life is hard. Any endeavor that you want to go do is going to have obstacles. It's easy to dream. It's easy to be on the outside looking in on something and think, wow, if only I could have that. And we get disillusioned that it will be easy, or we get disillusioned that it won't be as hard as it actually is. And we are not mentally prepared for the setbacks and obstacles that ended up coming. And because of that, we give up. Like, really quick, let's all be totally honest. If you currently stream on Twitch, all I want you to do is just raise your hand using the little button below. Raise your hand if you ever thought about giving up. Yeah, me too. I remember when I was streaming to 2 viewers and they were bots. And I was just sitting there talking to myself, playing Teamfight Tactics, thinking to myself, what the heck am I doing? Right? So it's totally normal to have those thoughts. What you want to be able to do is have the mental fortitude to go through it. Now, do you do that with willpower? No. Willpower is a sham. Willpower, if you just live off willpower, eventually you're going to break and have an emotional breakdown. You need something else. You need a why, right? You need a, like, if you can think about the way human beings are designed, we are designed to be emotional creatures, right? Everyone wants to think they're logical. Well, your logic center is above your emotional center. So that's why, like, if you ever do something that's like maybe off color as a human being, like crack and get angry at someone, or, you know, do something mean, you will find a way to rationalize it right after, because we as human beings are emotional. It is what it is. The point of all that is you can leverage that emotion by having a why behind what you're doing. Here's what I mean. If you're streaming because you want to be famous, and that's not really something that's like pulling at your soul, when things get hard, you're going to quit. If your why is, oh my God, I just lost my job and I need to figure out streaming in the next 30 days or I'm going to lose my car. Well, guess what? That's going to be a little more motivating for you. So, you know, there's 2 ways that you can be motivated, right? From pleasure and from pain. Pleasure is like, ooh, success, wealth, status, people will think I'm great. That's pleasure. Pain is, oh my God, if I don't do this, I'm going to experience pain, right? And the reason a lot of people stop streaming is because they're experiencing pain and not enough pleasure, right? Every time they log into their stream, it's, you know, oh, the rejection. They feel rejection, and it's all in our heads, but they're real forces. So you need to have something that's going to push you through when things get tough. I'll share with you mine. So my why is No Gamer Left Behind. It's an initiative I started just about a month ago when I really needed to get honed into a mission for my life. I'm always the most excited about my life when there's a mission I go to bed thinking about and waking up thinking about. And the mission of this Discord and of this Twitch channel is to really help gamers not feel alone. And whether it be in my last businesses, which were mainly fitness businesses, which you know, our mission was essentially to you know, help women become, you know, the truest version of themselves, because when they become overweight and, you know, they just don't feel as good as when they were at their best and they don't act like themselves, right? That was our mission then. And the avatar was my mom, right? I helped my mom lose 40 pounds. I saw how it affected her life. And I said, oh my gosh, I got to do this with my life. And I did it for about a decade. And then I kind of hit my peak and I was just about done. And in that year and a half following, I was lost, didn't know what to do, and was feeling very alone. And I've been a gamer 20 plus years, and I just made a TikTok for fun, and the rest is history, right? You guys are all here hanging with me now, all 30 of you. We have 3,600 people in this Discord. We have, 5,300 people on Twitch, and I have made some of the best friends I've made in my entire life playing video games over the internet. And it's crazy. So our why, I am I'm the avatar. My why is to help people like me that don't have a community, right? And I feel that so strongly. Like, that's not just like something light. Like, I remember feeling the depression. I remember not wanting to get out of bed in the morning because I felt like I had nothing, nobody. And when I would log into a game, I would just chain games back to back because I felt like I just needed to distract myself. So for me, my why is so strong because I am the example of the person I'm trying to help. And I'm willing to face rejection, to be tired, to lose, to be rated by negative people. Like, there is nothing that can stop me from helping that person who is like me. So that's my why. You got to figure out what your why is, right? Because when you develop your why, you can follow through anything. And I'm going to drop a link in the resources chat, so you guys can benefit from it. Let's see. I think it's this one. It might not be. Hold on one sec. Developing why. One sec. I want to make sure I get you guys the right link. All right, this is probably fine. So Tony Robbins has a bunch of stuff like this, but we're going to put it, okay, we're going to make another channel and we're going to call it Mindset. Mindset. We're going to call it Partner Mindset. Feel free to check that link out if you want. I haven't listened to that exact one in a while, but the title and everything is hitting on the points that I want. It's creating the driving force behind what you're doing in your life. It's 40 minutes, all right? So take the time to listen to that even when you're driving or doing whatever. This is part of mindset. A lot of people don't take time to figure out their mindset. It is arguably the most important thing because your body follows your mind, right? You have to get your head in the right place, all right? So moving on from mindset, how I feel like I can add value and help you guys tonight is, I think a lot of people, when they start streaming, they're kind of overwhelmed. And it makes sense, because I was too. You start streaming and it's like, oh my gosh, it becomes apparent after a couple of streams, people are coming to my channel. What do I do? You're told to grow your Instagram, grow your YouTube, grow your Twitter, grow your TikTok. Make sure that you're in communities, make sure that you're doing all of these things. And we kind of get this paralysis by analysis. And when we do things, sometimes they lack intent. So what I want to help you guys with is a way of looking at your streaming as through a similar lens that I would look through any of my past businesses. Because really, anything you do where you're trying to develop an audience, you need these 5 things. And these are the only 5 things that you will ever do while streaming. This is it. These 5 things. So whatever you think you have to do, they might go in one of these categories, but there's only 5 categories that you need to check on regularly, right? Think of it almost like, like this, like, I don't know if you guys have heard the 7 areas of mastery. Has anyone ever heard of the 7 areas of mastery? You can raise your hand really quick if you have. Anyone? Going once, twice? Okay, maybe 1 or 2. Okay, all right, that's good. Good enough for me. So these are the 7 areas of mastery really quick. They're right here. This is how I run the majority of my life, and I always have. So you have these 7 areas, right? No matter what's going on in my life, all I got to do is look at these 7 areas, and then I can figure out usually what I need to fix. So physical body, emotions and meaning, relationships, time, work, career, and mission. That's where Twitch falls for me in this whole thing that I'm doing. Finances, and then celebrate and contribute, right? My whole life, everything that happens are in those 7 areas, right? So very similarly, when we go to, like if we zoom out, that's what we see. If we go closer and we zoom into number 5, work, career, and mission, okay, well now we have this. Where'd it go? Well, now we have this. These are the 5 things inside of work. That's it. If you are a business owner, that's all that matters. That's it. That's it. I'm really trying to press that home. That is all that matters. Now, everything that matters inside business is inside these things, and I'll show you in a second. All right, let's do it. So the first thing is lead generation. If you are looking to grow your Twitch, and I hope you guys know this, if you are running a Twitch channel, you are a business owner or attempting to be a business owner. Now, what do I mean by that? You have to control all of these factors, which is why a lot of people fail on Twitch, because people are generally good at one thing, maybe 2, but they're not good at all 5. And in order to be successful in the real world and business like I was, for those of you who don't know, I don't say this to brag, I want to tell you so that you can hopefully know that as you're listening, I have some credibility. So before this, I retired, I ran gyms, I built gyms, and then I became partnership in gyms, and we were doing about $5 million a year before I essentially sold, and I was out, and that's how I retired. Great. Now you know my story. So now you know that these things that I'm telling you matter. And I can promise you right now, I studied over 100 partner channels on Twitch. Nobody is looking at it this way. There's a couple that come close, but nobody's looking at Twitch this way. And that's why I think there is a huge opportunity for me and this community to use these strategies and explode on Twitch. Because if you've ever heard the expression marketers ruin everything, marketers haven't made it to Twitch. And when I say marketers, I mean the actual people streaming aren't marketers. They might learn about it, and they might learn these strategies, and then they can consider themselves that, but a lot of people aren't doing these things. Okay, cool, so let's talk about it. Lead generation. Lead generation is how are you gonna get people into your store? We're gonna think about this as a cake place really quick, all right? Let's say you sell cakes. Your name is Alaric's Awesome Cakes, and you sell cakes. Lead generation is how are you gonna get people to hear about your cake? You got the best cake in the world. How are you gonna get people to hear about it? Well, you might, I don't know, do ads, you might tell your friends, you might go to fairs, whatever. It's anything that involves getting people to hear about you that haven't heard about you before is lead generation. So when it pertains to Twitch, it's anything to be able to, any opportunity for somebody who doesn't know who you are, where now they know who you are. Think TikTok, think Instagram, think Facebook, think going into the recommended on Twitch, think Hover, all these things. All those things are lead generation. They're not made equal, but all of those things are lead generation. I mean, hey, lead generation is also going to the corner of your sidewalk, go to the corner of your street and yell, I'm a Twitch streamer! Twitch.tv/Ryan and Snoop! Right? That's lead generation. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work, but it's lead generation, right? You're trying to get people that don't know who you are to know who you are. All right? So simple. Then you have lead nurture. Okay, now you've brought that person to hear about your cake store. You have their attention. The most important thing in today, the most important asset in today's, the most important asset to a business owner is grasping somebody's attention, right? Think about it. We live in a world where it is just, attention is going everywhere, right? You got your kids that just need help with their homework, and you got your wife who's mad at you, or your husband, and you got your mom who's getting surgery on her ingrown toenail, and you got Facebook, and you got TikTok, you're scrolling, and you got work, and you got, you got so many things going on that if you can take somebody's attention for a moment, you need to leverage it and you need to take advantage of it. But it's so hard to even break through and get that attention. So if you can get it, Now you have to have a system for nurturing it. A lot of people think that a lot of people believe that stuff happens by accident. And don't get me wrong, coincidence happens. But the people who succeed over and over and over again have systems. What does that mean? Here's what I mean. Here's an example. Here, like anyone that wants to be a role in like the Discord, right? I have the 4 R's, right? You guys can't see it. You'll have to see it in the recording. I have roles, requirements, responsibilities, and results. And it lays out everything. Why do I do that? It's so that I know when somebody comes on, they're on the same page, and we also have all the procedures for what goes on in that role. Now, how does that pertain to the cake store and you? Well, when it pertains to the cake store, it might be, hey, I heard that you reach out to that person, right? Or you retarget them with an ad that says, hey, I noticed you checked out my cake store. How's a 30% off coupon work for you, right? In the service business, which is essentially what we're on Twitch, or in the gym business, you would ask about their goals. You would say like, hey, what are you trying to do? Why are you trying to lose weight? Like, what are some things you tried in the past? Kind of like I was asking you guys before. When it comes to Twitch, lead nurture might be like, all right, now you have that person. What are you doing to build them up to the next piece of the sale, right? What are you doing to get them to come to your stream in the first place? Now, a lot of times, lead nurture and lead generation happen at once if they come from Twitch. Because essentially, they hear about you, and now they're in your stream. And now it's your opportunity to sell them on why they should stay. Why should they stay? What's going to be different about you versus the other 9.36 million streamers on Twitch? You're selling people to stay there. You're not selling them to say like, hey, buy my product, but you are selling them for them to spend their attention on you. So what's it going to be, right? How are you going to improve that process? You need a system. If you turn on your webcam and you're just like, even when if you turn on your webcam and you act in a way of how you're feeling that day, good or bad, I can promise you that you're going to have probably bad results over time. Snoop's barking, he's excited. So with that in mind, you have to have systems, right? You have to have a process. You have to have something special, a unique selling proposition that is going to get people to watch your stream. And if you don't know what it is yet, don't stream again until you figure it out. Wild Wolf said it really well. She said, I'm a furry. Awesome! You have a niche. Be a furry. Talk about furry things. I don't know much about furry culture. But make it really clear that that's what you're trying to do, right? And then do that. And do it well. Going off of this really quick, find somebody to model. So you can be really good at lead generation. You can be really good at lead nurture. But you can have the worst tasting cake in the world. And if Alaric's Awesome Cakes, he's like, hey guys, come to my store. I have the best cakes. And you kind of sell them. You nurture the lead. They come to your cake store. They come to your stream. And they're ready. They're so excited. And they take a bite of that cake. They're like, this shit sucks. This cake's terrible. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to leave. So it does not matter how good you are at generating leads. It does not matter how good you are at lead nurture. It does not matter how good you are at sales. You need all of them. So when I say, again, sales, you're not doing a sales presentation. You are selling yourself, okay? And then you have retention. Retention is, okay, let's say you have a killer lead generation process. You can get 100 people to your stream or to follow you every single day. That would be amazing. You nurture those leads. And you talk to them, you reach out to them, you build a community, and you get them to come back to come to your stream. They come to your stream, and it's amazing. Don't you think that retention would take care of itself? Yes and no. All of these kind of meld together. But retention partly is making sure that people don't fall off, making sure that they want to stay with you versus anywhere else. Because again, you have to ask yourself, really, what is your unique selling proposition? Because look, everyone's got a dream. There's 300 million people in the US, and 3% of them are on Twitch. That doesn't sound like a big number. It is. 3%. That means out of every 100 people you walk by in the world, 3 of them have a Twitch account. What? Like, I'm sorry, stream on Twitch. Not have a Twitch account. Stream on Twitch. You have to really take time and figure out what is going to make you different. And do it. And guess what? If it doesn't work, you have to change. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing again and again and again and expecting a different result. You have to have something special. And if people aren't responding to it, don't blame Twitch. Blame yourself. Now, again, this goes back to having a higher self-esteem because, of course, if you're just beating yourself up all the time, that's not going to work either. But there's this book that I read called Extreme Ownership. And it talks about how people who succeed in life generally take responsibility. And they blame themselves. But they don't do it in a way that's destructive. They do it in a way that's empowering. A lot of people give up power by blaming other things they can't control. Twitch. It's TikTok. TikTok's the reason I'm not blowing up. It's the freaking algorithm. No one can blow up on there. Right? And if you believe that, you will take actions that are in line with that. You won't post as much. Right? Because what's the point? But on the same time, right, and this is very mental, but on the same time, if you're able to say, you know what, the only reason I'm not growing onto it, or the only reason I'm not blowing up on TikTok, is because my content must suck. Okay, great. Now what? Now, because you took that responsibility, you can make it better. And now you're going to take an action that makes your content better versus just wallowing in your own self-pity of like why me? Like why is TikTok unfair, right? And even if TikTok is unfair, it doesn't matter. If you take responsibility, you will take different actions to be able to get better results. Is this making sense? Is this like, I know I'm probably losing some of y'all, but raise your hand if this like kind of makes sense. Kind of ranting, kind of talking about some mindset stuff, but it all goes together. This is extremely important stuff. So going back to retention, you need a model for retention as well. You need a system. So for example, like if somebody doesn't show up in your stream, do you reach out to them? Right? I mean, if you're a small streamer, it might be easy and you can, but the bigger you get, the harder it gets. What about if somebody gifts you something? When's the last time that when somebody gifted you something on Twitch that you, if you're at that point, that you reached out to them the day after and said, thank you. I really appreciate that. Not only because you feel it, but also because you know as from a business side that if you do that, people are going to stay because people want to be appreciated. And this goes back to accomplishing human needs. A lot of people are here because they want to have their human needs met, viewers and streamers alike. So if you can help people hit their human needs, which is a talk for another day, I'll put that, that's actually a really good video. That's also Tony Robbins. Human Needs Psychology, Tony Robbins. Oh yeah, you guys got your homework today. That one's a good one too. That one's arguably more important because that one talks about everything. That one you can figure out a lot about yourself too. Yeah. Anyway, let's keep going. I don't want to go too far off. And then ascension is like, how do you bring them to the next level? So like for us, for example, let's use the Discord, for example. All right, let's break down the Discord and make it really simple. So what are we doing for lead generation in the Discord? We are doing TikTok, manual reach out, and a few other strategies. When somebody comes into the Discord, we have a system for how we welcome them. We welcome them with 5 sequence messages, and our goal is to be able to, and we track it, so that we can see if people fall off so we can follow up with them, hence the system. And our goal is to activate them. So active member, they activate to active members so that they can essentially become, I guess, an active member, right? That's the sale part. We want that, like, that's the thing we're trying to do, is get them to be an active member, because when they're an active member, our mission goes forward. They help our mission go forward because now they're talking with other people, right? It's like pushes everything forward. Retention, we have retention measures in place for when they either don't show up or become inactive. We're reaching out, but also we're doing things like hosting events and like doing giveaways and like all these things that, again, keep them here because it's more exciting than somewhere else they could go, or at least to their knowledge, right? And then Ascension is like, all right, they are such a example member of the community that they want to do more. They believe in the mission so much that they want to be able to be on staff. So we ascend them to a staff position, right? So every part of like anything you want to do, whether it be your Twitch, this Discord, the Kick Shop, you have to have these strategies in play. Now, granted, I'm not going to explain these in vivid detail, but we are going to just talk about the things that pertain specifically to you guys, because at the end of the day, I gave you all of that just as an overview. Now we're going to get super granular so that you guys can leave with these action items and see dramatic change in your Twitch. That's it. Just a couple things. But just so I can know for the next time we do this, can you guys raise your hand if that was like, was that helpful at all? Just kind of giving you an overview. Cool. People aren't doing this on Twitch, I can assure you. So if you want to have a disproportional glow up on Twitch compared to the average person or even the abnormal person, then look at your Twitch as a business. Look at everything you do, or everything that you're doing here as a business. Okay, let's go. So the biggest problem people generally have is lead generation, and the reason for that is it's the first part of the funnel. It doesn't matter how good of a cake you have. It doesn't matter if your cake tastes good or tastes terrible. If you have nobody to taste your cake, it doesn't matter. You first need people to hear about what you're doing. So that's what we need to solve first. So I think you guys probably already know this. The best current lead generation strategy is TikTok. Now, with that in mind, with the TikTok in mind, a couple things you need to think about. Number one, you need to be able to figure out trends. The way TikTok works is it works on watch time, likes, and shares. Those are the metrics. So if you're trying to leverage that, you need to take advantage of sounds and trends, because things that people recognize, especially if it's in the beginning of one, will get more watch time, even if your video isn't that good. And I say that from a place of love, right? Because at the end of the day, it is what it is. You may not have great videos, but that's okay, like we talked about before. I didn't have good videos, but if you can take responsibility, you can look critically and change it. So you need to consume content for about 20 to 30 minutes per day. Heart the ones you like, or heart the ones you can replicate. I think a lot of people are afraid of replicating on TikTok because they're afraid of like being called out. I want to give you permission right now. Copy any of my TikToks, word for word. You could even wear a mask of me. I don't care. Take any of it. No one who is like mature cares if you copy their TikToks. Like, you're always going to get people that are like, oh man, like, you stole my idea. And it's like, what? No, you can just tag them. Just tag them and give them credit if it really bothers you. But like, that's what TikTok is. It's just, trends are all just people stealing each other ideas over and over until it becomes really popular. That's what a trend is. So consume content 20 to 30 minutes every single day. Find trends, find sounds, and heart the ones that you can replicate and go back to. All right? Super important. That's all you got to do. Super easy. All right? So that's step one. With that in mind, make sure that you're staying in your niche. If you guys are trying to grow your Twitch if you guys are trying to grow your TikTok to grow your Twitch, don't post random content. Now, there is a caveat to that. The caveat is do whatever you can to get to 1,000 followers as fast as possible. And I'll tell you why in a second. But when it comes to getting followers over to your Twitch, if you have 1 million followers on TikTok, but only 1,000 of them watch Twitch, that's not going to help you grow your Twitch. It's going to give you clout on TikTok, but guess what? It's not going to help you on Twitch, which is the endeavor, right? So you want to make sure that if you are growing your TikTok, don't get caught up in the numbers. They don't matter. What matters is, are they converting to Twitch? And you should have a way of tracking that, which we won't talk about now. But you can get a general idea, even without using spreadsheets or a customer management software. You can easily know, hey, I just posted 20 TikToks this week and I grew 300 followers on Twitch. It's working. Versus, wow, I grew 10,000 people on TikTok, but nobody went over to my Twitch. Cool. You got to change your content. So you want to make sure that you are posting content that is relative to the niche that you are streaming in. If you're a general streamer, then stream general content, I guess, but keep it in the gaming sector, right? Or it's got to be related to you or your personality. But remember what you're trying to do. Do not get mistaken. 1 million followers on TikTok does not matter if they are not coming over to your Twitch and watching. Raise your hand if that makes sense. I really want to beat that home. Cool. Good stuff. So with that in mind, it bums me out that you guys can't see what I'm presenting right now. Kind of a bummer, because I have this all pulled up. Damn. All right, it is what it is. So with that in mind, you're going to consume content with purpose, 20 to 30 minutes daily. Heart ones that you can replicate and go back to later. Stay in your niche. Get to 1,000 followers as fast as possible. The reason for that is when you go to 1,000 followers, you can start going live. When you start going live, TikTok right now, it might change, but TikTok right now is giving huge upside to your views by you going live. So I'll give you a quick example. I created a second TikTok account and it took me like 5 days to go to 1,000 followers because I knew what to do, right? I posted 4 TikToks a day. I pretty much just copied all my content that got me to 300K. I got 1,000 followers in 5 days. Once I started going live, I hit like 15,000 in 2 more days on a fresh account. Why? It's because I went live. I mean, that's it. TikTok wants to award its creators for going live, and when you go live, you pop up in the For You page more often. So you got to do that as fast as possible, and you should be going live every single day. And you can literally going live like on a really small scale. Literally could just mean while you're on Twitch. A lot of people want to believe that you can't stream on TikTok and Twitch at the same time because it breaks the affiliate or partner agreement. It doesn't, as long as they're different stream codes. What does that mean? If you're streaming a TikTok from your phone live and then you're streaming on your computer for Twitch, you're fine. Or at least to my knowledge. This is not legal advice. But that's what I'm doing. And I've had a lawyer look at the user agreement, and he says that as long as the API, is it the API? No, I don't remember what it's called. It's like the stream code, the live code, is a different code, you're fine. So if you have TikTok going on over here and you have your Twitch going over here, you're golden. And you can just literally do it at the same time, and your TikToks will get more views. Not saying they'll blow up, but they'll get more views, which will push them to the next layer of the pool. If you guys really quick don't know how TikTok works, TikTok, how it always works is it sends your video out to like 100 people. Based on what those 100 people do with watch time, likes, and shares, will determine does it go on to the next tier. And then it sends it to 1,000 people. Depending on what happens in that tier, it sends it to the next pool, 10,000, and then the next one. And pretty much it keeps going until enough people, just the results go down. And then it stops, flatlines. And this is why you can post the same TikTok, like like, I'll give you an example. I posted a TikTok on my main page, and it got like 5,000 views. I was like, damn, that's a pretty good TikTok. I'm salty. And I took it and posted on my second account, and it got like 100,000 views. I'm like, what the heck? It's the same TikTok. But the difference was the people that TikTok showed it to were different. And it got out of the first and second tier. So if you don't get the results you want and you think you have a really good TikTok, like after 2 days, if it's not getting you the results you want, just delete it and repost it, which is also why you should be saving all your TikToks. I mean, we can get into technical stuff, but everyone, like if you're making TikToks and stuff, you should be using, I think it's like savetalk.com or something. I use it on my phone. It's called, hold on. It's called TikTok download. Oh, Snaptik.app to download all your TikToks after you post them. That way, if you do have to repost them, you don't have the annoying little TikTok thing there. I'll just post it in the technical resources. Snaptik.app. There you go. These things usually get taken down after a while because TikTok doesn't want them up, but all right, let's keep going. Cool. Make 3 TikToks daily, even if they suck and they get 10 likes. Why? If you want to grow, you have to get good. How do you get good at something? You practice. And like what I'm going to recommend that every single person does, if you really want to grow, is make 3 TikToks a day. And again, we'll talk about chunking in a second, but like you don't have to make 3 TikToks every day. You can make 15 TikToks every 5 days. Just make them and take 5 hours to make them, right? This is relatively simple. It's not easy, but it's simple, right? Just do it, right? And just be consistent. So 3 TikToks a day. Allow TikTok to figure out who your audience is, and then there's a higher chance that you'll get out of tier 1 because it will know who to send it to. You have to remember that if you're just posting TikToks, if you haven't posted like 100 TikToks yet, TikTok is still trying to figure out who to send your content to, right? You know you want to send it to people who watch Twitch, but how do they know, right? So you have to give the algorithm time to figure out who your audience is. So make a lot of TikToks, even if they suck, even if they don't get a lot of views. Make a lot of TikToks, but try to make them good, right? And then if they don't do well in the beginning and then you start blowing up, again, go back, look, and oh, that one was really good, but it didn't blow up. Re-upload it, right? And then when you find something that works, replicate it until it doesn't. A lot of people don't want to make the same content again and again because they're afraid people will unfollow or they'll like, I don't know. I honestly don't know why. They won't just beat it into the ground. But if you look at any of my popular videos on TikTok, when I find a theme that works, I just keep posting it until it doesn't. So like my headphone one, you guys probably know what I'm talking about, right? So funny joke actually. I made, I think like 4 of these just today. Just so you guys know I'm like walking my own talk over here, right? All right, so just today I made 13 TikToks, right? 13 TikToks. 4 of them are the same exact theme, right? It's literally the same thing. You guys have probably seen this style video. Shit, I just remembered you guys can't see this. That's all right. If you watch the recording, you'll see it. My point is, do it until you just beat it into the ground, man. Because if it blows up, you're going to get views. Those views are going to translate over to your Twitch, and you're going to keep growing. So when you find something that works, go. And then another thought really quickly is, and this goes for like everything. I don't even have it written down, but you need to be able to find someone who is doing what you want to do and model them. What does that mean? Really simple. If you are let's use Wild because she's at the top of my head. If you are in the if you're in the furry community and you want to be a furry streamer and talk about furry things and just like have a furry community. Find the most successful furry streamer and copy them. And when I say copy them, I don't mean literally every move they make, but take the things that are the best that they're doing and adopt them. That is how you will grow quickly. The reason that I was able to grow my businesses as fast as I was isn't because I just knew what to do. It's because I got mentors that had like 100 gyms. Like I knew the CEO of Fit Body Bootcamp, which is like one of the biggest boot camp franchises in the world, along with Devin from Burn Bootcamp, and I knew these guys. So like I was able to talk to them, and they were able to help me. So I took what was going to be beneficial and discarded the rest. You can do the same exact thing. So if you don't have right now somebody in your head that you want to aspire to be, figure it out. Right? You have to have a blueprint for like what you're moving towards. If right now you have no objective, like someone that you're not trying to be like, then you don't really, it's hard to create a clear path to get there. You need clarity, right? And that helps develop an immense amount of clarity. All right. Keeping the party going. Manual outreach. So TikTok strategy number 1 for lead generation. Let's say that you've made all your TikToks, or you've decided for some reason you're not going to make TikToks. I don't recommend you do that, because TikTok will have the highest ROI when you hit gold. Because the next strategy we're going to talk about is linear. And when I mean linear, I mean for every input, there's an equal output, right? On TikTok, like for example, manual outreach, if you reach out to 100 people and 10 people come and watch your stream, and it takes you 2 hours to send 100 messages, okay, great. On TikTok, you could take 2 hours, or you could take 10 hours and have no TikToks blow up. Or you take 20 hours and you have 1 blow up, and it's like you did manual outreach for 10,000 hours because it gets 2 million views. So, you know, there's a little give and take here. But I highly recommend you're on TikTok. When it comes to manual outreach, you want to make sure that you're really doing both. But manual outreach is really straightforward. You're essentially just manually reaching out to an individual who could be your ideal audience, right? There's cold outreach and warm outreach. Cold outreach is like looking for group and game servers, right? So you could literally, right, reach out to people, like let's say you play Splitgate on your Discord, on your stream. You could literally go to a Splitgate server and create a script, a message that says, hey, I saw that you play Splitgate. Are you looking for someone to play with? I and a few others are going to play tonight. And you send out 100 messages, and 10 people get back to you and say, and then 10 people get back to you, 5 of them say yes. Cool. You have 5 people to play with. You invite them in, they play. You mention that you're streaming if they want to check it out. 2 come over to your stream. Great. That's manual outreach. And then you start building a relationship with these people so they come back and stay. Right? That's how you grow. That's manual outreach. Now, of course, what you're going to have to deal with is rejection with that, just like anything else. You reach out to people, and some people are going to be like, F off. How dare you DM me? It's the price of growing. You need to have the right mental game to be able to really progress in these areas, in my opinion. Another way that you can do manual outreach that's warm, which means that it's more favorable, they know who you are, is TikTok comments. When you make a TikTok and it gets 10,000 views and you get 200 comments, those are all people who have essentially given you permission to talk to them. Great. So guess what I did on every single one of my TikToks, right? And I'm still behind on this. This will become a high priority task soon. But I had one of my TikToks blow up that was talking about toxic gamers, right? It's hard finding a toxic gamer as an adult. Or I'm sorry, it's hard finding gamer friends as an adult. And it was like whatever, I don't have to explain it, but I got 2 million views and 20,000 comments. Guess what I did? Every single comment that said, same, it's so hard to find friends. I'm alone. I would respond to every single one. It takes a ton of time. Like, you get to the point that TikTok shuts you down because they're like, hey, stop messaging people so much. Cool. So I literally messaged everyone and was like, hey, like, what games do you play? We play every day in the Discord. Come join. And that was that specific TikTok was how we went from 400 people in the Discord to 3,600 people in the Discord in 48 hours. And I gained, like, I think 500 followers on Twitch just from that. So that was one, right? So, but you don't need something to blow up hugely. If you get 10 comments that are relative, and this is, again, why it's so important to stay in your niche. If you're making dog videos and people comment and they're like, hey, your dog's so cute, you can't be like, yeah, isn't he? By the way, join my Discord for gamers. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But if you say, like, if you make a video about you playing a game, or if you're like, I wish I had more people to play with, or something, like a TikTok using that trend, relating it to your niche in gaming, now you get some comments back that are like, same, I understand. And then those are all now leads that you can nurture, right, by bringing them into a community. And then you sell them right when they get on stream on why they should watch you. Is this making sense? Raise your hand if I make any sense at all. If I make no sense, keep your hand down and call me freaking insane. All right, cool. Thank you, guys. I appreciate the validation. All right, keep the party going. The last one is existing follower list. Now, this one is arguably the most important, but I didn't want to start with it because a lot of you don't have one. But let me tell you something really quick. Right now, if you have a follower list of even 10 people and you don't have 10 active viewers, you should be reaching out to your follower list pretty much twice a week. Now, don't get me wrong. I have about 5,300 followers. One of our new affiliate streamers in the Discord, which I'll talk about in a second, she has 22,000 followers. Yeah, she can't reach out to all those people every week, right? But you should be prioritizing your follower list. Think about it. Everyone's obsessed with lead generation. How do I get more people to my stream? You know, like, a lot of people here have multiple hundreds of followers, but you don't have multiple hundreds of viewers. Now, of course, not everyone is going to be, what's the word I'm looking for, available at every time. But let's look at it from a perspective of numbers. The average Twitch streamer, even partners, or actually partners, it gets really bad. Like, the average small to mid-tier Twitch streamer has like 1% of their follower list watching, like, at any given moment, right? So, like, anyone who's like slightly above average. So, like, for me, 5,300 people, 5,300 followers, I should have like 53 people watching if I'm slightly above average, right? If I'm below average, it's below that. If I'm above average, it's above that, right? You get it. So a lot of people spend a lot of time trying to figure out how to get new followers, how to get new people to their stream, how to get viewers. And what they ignore is it's kind of like going on an adventure to find new followers when you literally just could have looked in your backyard. Right? Like, let's be honest. If you're a Twitch streamer, when's the last time you messaged your followers, all of them, and thanked them for following you? And maybe gave them at least a thank you. I can promise you that you probably haven't. Why? Because it's time consuming. It takes a ton of time. And then we think, is this even worth doing, right? So I can promise you that is one of the highest ROI activities you can have. If you, really quick, right off the top, if you guys have wondered how just this channel, we went from 35 active viewers 2 weeks ago to now having the last stream on Friday hit 130 viewers. I haven't posted a single TikTok in 2 weeks. How did it happen? I reached out to my follower list and I said thank you, and I meant it. And I've only been able to reach out to like 1,000 people, but out of like 1,000 people, 100 of them came back to my stream. Let me ask you a question. If you have 1,000 followers and you message all 1,000 followers and 10% came back to the stream, that'd be 100 active viewers. Now, I'm not saying they all stay because your cake might suck, right? And that's fine. You got to make it taste better. But if they're coming back, there you go. You are now doing lead nurture. You generated a lead. They fell off. Now they fell from here to here. Now they're in lead nurture. Now you nurtured them again to come back. You have to make sure you're reaching out to your people. And the best way that I recommend reaching out to your people is a DM on Twitch. And just be honest. My truth was, hey, I was reflecting on like the start of this whole thing, because it really is insane that we grew this much in 4 months. And I just want to thank you. And that's when I started the give back streams. So every Friday now we're doing a give back stream to be able to give back to the people who made this community what it is. And they come a lot of times. So got to make sure you're doing that. But these are the things that matter most. Because it gets very, and I say matter most, these are the things that are universal. How about that? These are the things that are universal. That no matter what niche you're in, if you're a hot tub streamer, if you're a furry streamer, as Wild mentioned, if you are a variety streamer, if you do what we do, which is, I don't know, video games and kind of a little bit of everything, I don't know. I don't really know how to describe what we do, to be honest. Then, like, these things still stay the same. All right? Really quick. For these two things, TikTok and manual outreach, I'm going to give you guys a recording of this too, so you can watch it, and I'll post the notes somewhere as well. Actually, I'll post the notes right here. Oh my God, hold on, let me post these notes for you now. That way you guys can follow along. I'm going to post it in Growing Your Audience. That way you guys can know what we're talking about. There you go. You can copy that if you want. Okay. Raise your hand really quick if this is giving you any value. Like, is this helpful? Okay, cool. Keep it up. Keep it raised. Keep it. Don't put it down. Don't you put it down. All right, you can put it down. Great. All right. Last piece is going to be number 3, which is become a staple in a community. Some people already mentioned this already. Honor was one of them. She mentioned growing a tribe or having a tribe. Guys, you gotta know this. 100%. It's hard, or it's easy to quit a hobby. It's hard to quit a relationship. That was the mantra that I told every single one of my employees when we grew our gym business. It's hard to quit a hobby. It's easy to quit a hobby, hard to quit a relationship. That means that if we just offered a service that people came to the gym and we were a commodity, the gym with the lowest price would win. However, if we had a relationship with every single one of our members, not only was it more fulfilling for us and for them, but it didn't matter if we charged $50 more a month or even $100. Maybe that was too high, but you get the idea. People, they would stay with us because of the relationships that they made. It's the same exact thing on Twitch, guys. You have to build relationships to a degree to get off the ground. And to me, that's exactly what I wanted in the first place. So, hey, it kind of just happened, and I loved it. But if you want to be able to grow, like, quickly, you need to be able to leverage other people's communities. Now, don't get me wrong. You can create your own, but it takes longer. So, for example, if you have no following base right now, and you are just looking to increase your Twitch, and you do your TikTok and your manual outreach, and you try to create your own community, your community will not be used for lead generation in the beginning. It will really just be used for sales, right? To essentially keep people, retention, keep them there. If you go into somebody else's community and cross-pollinate, right? I think it's really important that we're all on the same page. When you go into somebody else's community, it's really hard to, quote, steal viewers. And I think a lot of people are afraid of putting their self out there because they're afraid, like, oh no, like people will think I'm poaching. And like there is a wrong way to get active in a community, but there's also a right way. Here's what I mean. The wrong way to get active in a community is like having 100 Discord channels, never doing anything in them, except every time you go live, you post in the PogU. And you're like, I'm going live, come watch me be live. And you post that in 100 different Discords, and you go live and you have 4 viewers, and you're like, why didn't anyone come see me? Because they don't know you. They don't care about you, and you don't care about them, because you don't know who they are. But what if, instead, you were able to become a staple in somebody's community? And by a staple, right, there's all different ratios, but like, let's use our Discord as an example. We have 3,600 people in here. Don't you think there's 10 people in your niche that are here that you can find and cultivate a niche community inside our community? Probably. And then as a result, you know, don't you think that you would grow much faster? I do, right? Like, essentially, think about it. The people who are your ideal customer, and by customer, I mean viewer, right? Your ideal viewer that watch Twitch, play video games, and that are active in a community are already in this community. Your viewers are here. Not all of them, but some of them, at least to help you get off the ground. Now, of course, you know, it helps if if you're affiliated with me in the Discord, like, of course, me shouting you out helps and all that stuff. That's great. But that only goes so far, because it's the same thing. If I say, hey, go check out Honor's channel, and they go to, actually, I won't use Honor because, I'm sure she has a great channel. So I'm going to use somebody else. I'm going to say Joe Schmo. So I shout out Joe Schmo's channel, and then they go to Joe Schmo's channel, and the cake's bad. Right? Like, you have to have good cake, and you have to build a relationship with these people. So what I would recommend is every single one of you, if you're a streamer, pick your community. I'd love for it to be ours, and the reason for that's really straightforward, because it's going to help us grow, because if you are being active in the Discord, more people become active in your niche, and we're able to grow. So it's a win-win, right? You get viewers in your niche, more viewers, and yeah, you might take some people from the channel, but I doubt it, right? It's cross-pollination, you know? If you're bringing new people, then it balances out, right? Like, I think a lot of people have a scarcity mindset when it comes to streaming and when it comes to Twitch, and it doesn't have to be that way. We can all grow together. We can all accomplish our goal, assuming that we have, the 5 steps locked down. But yeah, you need to find a community. So those are the 3 things when it comes to lead generation. You need TikTok, manual outreach, and becoming a staple in the community. That's the name of the game. Those are the 3 best strategies I can give you guys. Does that make sense? Raise your hand if that makes sense.